Welcome to Transforming Families with Randy and Leslie, the podcast where we delve into the heart of what truly matters, our families. Healthy families make healthy societies. I'm Randy.
And I'm Leslie. We're diving deep into the powerful insights of Dr. Randy's groundbreaking book, The Family Legacy: Shaping Culture from the Inside Out.
Hear inspiring stories and strategies to transform your family. We'll explore topics like communication, forgiveness, healing, parenting, marriage. We'll cover it all.
We'll have provoking conversations with experts, coaches, and real-life families who are benefiting from intentional family building.
This podcast isn't just about theories. It's about tools that you can implement today.
We all come from families, so this podcast is for you.
Join us on this incredible family journey. Subscribe now as we learn to do family as God designed.
Transforming families, one episode at a time. Remember, whoever wins the family wins the culture in the end. Let's go. Welcome back to Transforming Families with Randy and Leslie. I'm Leslie.
And I'm Randy.
And today we are going to talk about family school. Why family school?
Yeah, you might be saying, oh, no, not again. Well, let's just hang on a sec. Maybe you don't need family school. Maybe, how would you know if you really could benefit or not? Well, consider some of the things that we're going to talk about today and make your decision. It may not be for you, but it may.
Yeah, but I want to speak to those leaders out there today too. And I am addressing pastors, and I am addressing church leadership and volunteer staff that work with family. But I also want to shake up the hearts of those of you that are business owners and you run your business in a kingdom way, and you actually care about the families that work for you. That you have a heart to serve those families. Maybe you're a community leader and you have a heart for families. So yes, this is about our individual families, but I was just recently reminded freshly that we are a family. We are a family of believers. We are knitted together. Jesus is the head. We have a heavenly Father. We are called to work together to help each other, to fight for each other, to pray for each other, to be in community with each other. And the world is, while it's still a very big place, it's also a very small place. And so we want you to tune in. We're going to approach this a little bit differently today. We want to bring some fresh stats and information to your current state of thinking. And just this morning, Randy plugged in. Tell them what you plugged into ChatGPT.
Yeah, so this is really interesting. You've probably seen it if you've been following it, social media at all, asking AI things. Now, you may have your opinion about AI, and I'm not here to argue that. But taking the knowledge base that is enormous and accessible quickly, here's the question we just plugged in right before recording. We said, we plugged this in. What would you do, AI, ChatGPT, what would you do if you wanted to destroy a civilization from the inside out? Big question. Here's what they said. This is a thought-provoking question. And while the intention behind it may vary, exploring such a concept can reveal strategies for safeguarding against societal decline. If one were to systematically weaken a civilization, here are some historical and sociological patterns that you could observe or theorize. In other words, this is what's happened in the past. This is how civilizations have been destroyed from the inside out.
That's also what's happening now.
Yeah. Number one, undermine core values and principles in these three ways: erode moral foundations, promote relativism, and diminish shared ethical and moral standards. Happening. Disrupt the family unit. There you go. The number one point and the number two in number one, disrupt the family unit. Break down the nuclear family, which is often the cornerstone of societal stability, and devalue marriage and parenthood.
Yeah.
This is happening real time today. And number three, devalue religion and spirituality. Discourage faith-based practices or belief systems that provide unity and purpose. Wow. You want to destroy a civilization from the inside out? Let's take it down to the micro. If you want to destroy a family, you want to destroy a community, you want to destroy a church, you want to destroy a nation.
Disrupt the family. This is the core of what we do here at the Family Reformation Project. You hear us, we close a podcast with this every single time. Whoever wins the family wins the culture in the end. Conversely, disrupt and destroy the family, and the culture is going to follow.
Number one strategy enemy.
Yeah.
What's the second one?
The second one is weaken social cohesion. So this is the encouragement of division. Sound familiar? Exasperate divisions along lines of race, class, gender, ideology, sow discord and mistrust. Happening. Break down community structures, isolate individuals by replacing communal bonds with superficial or transactional relationships. Boy, there's a whole podcast. I think we've actually done one on this with some of the social media and how we don't actually engage and encounter each other. We don't breathe the same air. We don't touch. We don't make that eye contact. Super important.
Yeah, and in a victim culture, it separates, it divides.
Yeah.
I'm the victim, you're the abuser, and it just puts so much division.
I'm just going to separate. Yeah.
This is how the enemy is working. By I'm not saying AI is the enemy. I'm just saying
AI is just giving us the historical data.
Correct.
That's all this is.
How else would you do it? Number 3, corrupt education. Misuse education systems, promote ideology over critical thinking and intellectual rigor. That's one of the big things that we do in our work with emotional intelligence is teaching our children how to think for themselves.
Not what to think.
And agree with God, not indoctrination.
Yeah.
And erase historical context. Revise or erase history to disconnect people from their cultural or intellectual heritage. I mean, you could go down. This is a checklist, certainly in our nation and probably many nations in the earth, for how civilization is being undermined, destroyed. What else? What's number 4?
Yeah, this is, and by the way, Randy talks about this at length in his book, The Family Legacy Shaping Culture from the Inside Out. This is just further proof in the pudding, if you will. Here's number 4, attack economic stability. Anybody feeling a little unstable with the economy?
Out of control inflation.
And not just in the US, this is global. Create dependency, encourage reliance on external or centralized systems, i.e. government and corporations. They're there to serve us, remember. Over self-sufficiency, destroy incentives for hard work. Promote policies for cultural narratives that devalue productivity and personal responsibility. I don't know about you, and I'm getting up there in age, but it's discouraging going out and engaging with the customer service community. And in a lot of ways, it's just not what it used to be. I'll say that.
So we don't want to spend all of our time here, but listen to this strategy if you were going to destroy a civilization from the inside out. We've talked about several. Here's some more. Manipulate information in media, controlling the narrative. Well, that is certainly a real and present daily scenario here in the world, really.
Sure is.
Next, undermine leadership and institutions. So you'd corrupt the leaders in government or religion or education. Is that happening?
Oh, you missed this one, and this is important. Under the manipulation of information and media, normalize, listen to this, normalize chaos and fear. Amplify crisis to keep people distracted and anxious.
That isn't every day.
And listen, there's the fruit of keeping people in this chronic state of anxiety and heightened, where you're in that adrenaline fight flight. What it does is it disrupts our brain function. And when there's high emotion, there's low intelligence. Our under lots of studies, our prefrontal cortex actually shuts down our ability to critically think through things, gets disrupted when we're in a constant emotional state of arousal. This is really, really important.
It's really, I hope this is coming through. Like the very strategy to destroy a civilization from the inside out, every one of these is a checkbox of what is currently happening in our culture and around the world. Here's a couple more quickly. Encourage hedonism and materialism. So promote instant gratification over long-term planning or self-discipline, and focus society's goals on consumption, wealth, pleasure, instead of on meaning and purpose and community.
Yeah.
And finally,
Yeah, fragmented identity. We talk a lot about this
boom.
in our work. You just remove a sense of shared cultural or national identity by emphasizing individualism to the point of alienation.
Mm.
Boy, isn't this happening? It's
Mhm.
certainly happening culturally and in society, but this is happening in our homes, under our own roofs,
Mhm.
where this demand of acceptance around identity, it's alienating families. And we're just out of order, guys. This is not
Mhm.
complicated. We, by the way, are not here to promote more anxiety in you. If you're
Mhm.
starting to get worked up and like, oh gosh, all of this stuff is happening.
Yeah.
It's just to bring it top of mind.
Yeah, and recognize it so we can address it.
Yes.
And so we're in the middle, if you've been listening in our podcast, of a series, several top 10 series. And the one we're in now is currently the top 10 challenges that families face. So we talked about civilization. Let's just bring it right home to your family. Okay, my family. Are you experiencing any of these following? Look at the first one. Financial stress.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You guys know the 64% of Americans cite inflation as a major challenge.
Yeah. Wow.
So
And
marital discord, it creates all kinds of stress in the family.
next challenge that families are facing, work-life balance, that pursuit of achieving and making money and finding value outside of family and relationship because of the quote need to do that. Here's another one. Go ahead.
Technology and screen time. We've done a whole podcast on this again. Gosh, guys, the
Which
screen
keeps us distracted.
keeps us distracted. It keeps us separated.
Separate.
How many times have you been out to a restaurant recently and you see little kids sitting at the table in front of a tablet? I'm not judging anybody, but think about this for a moment. The children are on a tablet and they're not engaged around the supper table, which was Jesus's way.
Mm.
Jesus taught around the table so many times.
Yep.
And we have our family ritual around that. And I listen, I get it. Sometimes you're in a conversation and you do want to distract the child. But for this to be a normal practice in our families, the implications are coming out more and more. There's more and more studies that are coming out around this.
In fact, nations now are
Australia's just banned it.
Legislating teenage, you can't be on social media in Australia. And now I see Florida has done something similar. They're stepping in because the facts are we're becoming aware of what's really going on. Yeah. It's hurting. So mental health issues, another challenge. We talk about this in another podcast, anxiety, depression, other mental health challenges. It's estimated 20% of US adults are struggling with that, and more teenagers than that. I forget what that stat is. I think it's in the 40s.
Yeah, it's pretty high. Communication breakdown, parenting challenges.
Yeah, these are major challenges for families right now.
Poor communications leading to all kinds of family conflict. It's creating even more generational gaps with busy schedules, and we are bombarded with data all the time. And our kids are bombarded with data, but we're so tired by the time we walk in the door after working all day doing our own stuff that we don't know how to communicate with our teenagers and our young kids in a way that promotes a sense of being heard, a sense of safety, a sense of our kids are getting just inundated with anxiety producing data. And how are we helping them dissect and manage that in our homes?
I mean, the parenting challenges today are ever present. Yeah. Right. The whole woke agenda. Sorry, but that's the fact that is an anti-God belief system that has really indoctrinated in education. I mean, and there's other challenges we talk about: substance abuse and addiction. Health and wellness is a major concern for families. What was that stat? 60% of bankruptcies a few years ago were all because of medical costs that were just so extreme for families. Wow. That's a real issue. Caring for someone who has a health or wellness issue, fighting through all of the allergies, all of the food allergies, all of the the stuff in our food that's making us so sick and so expensive. Chronic illness is a big issue. And we could go on and on. Social pressures, divorce. What's the bottom line with all this? Why have we painted such a bleak picture? Here's why.
Because that's what's happening.
Because if we don't understand that a primary strategy of the enemy from the very beginning of the biblical account in the garden has been to destroy the family. Why? Well, that's God's design. He is a family.
Yeah.
Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Eternally past, he's always been a family. He creates in earth real time a family. And then after time, it's going to be about a family. Boy gets girl. And he can't not be family. I mean, I know it's an awkward statement, but think about it. God is a family, and everything he does flows out of that paradigm, that context. And the truth is our families are under attack. They're hurting. In fact, your family probably, your family of origin maybe, certainly your current family. I mean, at least 50% of people are divorcing.
In the church.
And all of the challenges that we've mentioned, you'd be hard pressed to find a family that didn't have multiple numbers of those challenges. And all of them are aimed at hurting God's design and plan for family, because that's the government of God, the family.
Yeah. We're going to take a quick break. Don't lose heart. Stay with us. When we come back, we are going to share you some good news.
Well, why family school was how we started this out. Why? If any of that relates to you or your children or your grandchildren or the families that you work with, family school is an answer to that. We're going to talk about how right after this.
Are you tired of feeling disconnected from your spouse or children? Do you want to create a home filled with love, joy, and purpose? In this fast-paced, crazy world, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters: your family. The Family School is here to guide you on this incredible journey based on Dr. Randall Bixby's best-selling book, The Family Legacy: Shaping Culture from the Inside Out.
The Family School provided us with the tools and strategies to build a healthy family culture. It's amazing to experience the transformation.
The Family School is a game changer. Our communication has improved, along with our ability to forgive and stay connected. We now have a blueprint to raise our son and teach him how to lead his own family one day.
The support and community at the Family School are incredible. We're not alone in this journey.
Family School has impacted our family relationally by transforming how we interact with each other, improving our communication skills to create a safe environment for everyone to be open and fully themselves.
At the Family School, you'll discover biblical strategies, practical tools, and a supportive community that will empower your family to thrive.
Enroll in the Family School today and embark on a life-changing adventure. Through interactive classes, personalized coaching, and transformative resources, you'll learn practical techniques to heal, grow, and thrive as you build your family in God's design. Visit our website at www.thefamilyreformationproject.com. Start shaping your family's legacy now.
Join the Family School today. Learn to do.
Okay, we're back.
We're back.
We're answering the question, why family school? And this is quite simply to help your family heal, grow, and thrive. And we are very quickly, just a few days, are starting another round of family school. This is a little different delivery system this time. We've shortened the classes. It's a 90-day journey, 90-minute classes once a week, and just a community of people that are right where you are, online. And we're making it super affordable. Click the link below and you can learn more of the details about family school. But we want to communicate this to you very, very clearly. We don't want anybody to not be able to go to family school because of money, like only never. And we are a nonprofit organization, but if you truly cannot afford family school and you need it, please reach out to us. And those of you who have a heart for family, and maybe your family's really clicking good, you've got it, you know what God's design is, and you're living it. Wonderful. We need more of you. And if you have the ability to seed in, and maybe there's a family in your community or in your own family that could benefit, consider sponsoring them in. this is such a way we can really actually shift the trajectory of where our culture is and the attack on our families right now. And we've talked in the first half about of all of the problems and all of the bad fruit that's being produced by not governing our families and the attacks on them. And in our family school, we really get to the root causes of these things, root causes, not just talking about the problem, but really getting to the core. Because if we can solve the core, then the problems go away.
In some ways, I liken it to Eastern and Western medicine, right? Western medicine treats symptoms. They take a pill, it's quick, and it might address a certain symptom, but it doesn't go to the root cause, and it usually creates more problems than the one symptom, so that you have to get other prescriptions or medications. That's Western medicine in short. I know it's more than that, but Eastern medicine is more of the wellness journey, right?
Yeah, their doctors get paid to keep you well.
Yeah. I mean, and really that's a big shift, right? In healthcare, period. Mm-hmm. I know we've been on that for quite a while. We spend and invest our money in staying well as opposed to treating sickness. And it makes a big difference, quality of life. But this is like family school. We go to the very root causes of that whole first half of the podcast. You think, you can't just solve that many problems in 15 weeks. Well, you'd be amazed what God can do, first of all. But second of all, our scripture for the ministry is Proverbs 24:3. And on Passion, it says that wise people are builders. They build families, businesses, and communities. And through intelligence and insight, their enterprises are established and endure, meaning there's a legacy to it. And so this is the key we've found, is you build on what God's design is for marriage. You actually do family God's way. And in doing that, first of all, we have to become aware of what is exactly God's design. And that's what we address that in family school. Mm-hmm. And then how do I begin to live that way? Well, we've created tools to be able to live that way. And so we decide one choice at a time with our families to surrender and do family God's way in specific ways, and forgiving and communicating and resolving conflict and reaching agreements, and
creating safety and trust in the home, rebuilding trust when there's been a breach. How do you do that? And
creating this healthy family culture, and really beginning to disciple our children in their true identity. Yeah. All of that list of how a civilization would be destroyed, it really is the antithesis of that is God's design for family.
How do you build your family in such a way that they are equipped to not just withstand the storms of life that come at them, but like Jesus, where it doesn't matter what's going on outside of us, externally, yeah. But in such a way that we're teaching our children how to be who they were designed to be.
Yeah.
So that we as our individual families thrive, but also that as the family of God, we're living in such a way that we are revealing Father to a lost and dying world. This really is not school is a word, but it's really a discipleship program.
Yeah.
How do we disciple our children the way Jesus discipled his disciples?
Mm-hmm. And it really is so that the character and nature of God himself is transmitted from one generation to the next.
Yeah.
And that's our responsibility as sons and daughters of God. We're entrusted with these kids, and we're entrusted with businesses and communities, and we're given responsibility to steward them. How do we do that? Well, this is partly how. And so you're saying, why family school? Do I need family school? You have to answer that question. You may be viscerally reacting to some of these problems that we described. You may have recently gone through divorce or be divorced. We're a blended family. You may be having challenges with your children parenting. You may be, fighting
stuck in that circular
time.
Argument that you can't ever get out of.
Yeah, you might be mama bear fighting the public education because you've seen what they're doing. I mean, this is for real. And it's just pretty simple in our view. If you are experiencing any of that, then family school is right for you.
Come check us out.
We
Click
would
the link below,
love
guys.
to have you join us. Click the link. Don't wait, because we're starting in 4 days. 4 days from now, we'll be jumping in to our next session of family school. We hope to see you there. Any last words?
How we always end with.
Oh, I forgot to say, there is a way for you to save $600 off of family school by clicking the link and learning more below. $600 savings, that's a big deal for most people.
And again, we don't want any family left behind. So do reach out. If this is something you feel like, oh man, I need this, I want this so bad, please reach out to us. Our contact information is below, guys. We love you. 2025 is going to be a great year. Let's start with taking the first step towards getting our families in order.
Yeah. Now, remember, whoever wins the family
wins the culture in the end.
See you next time. And that wraps up another inspiring episode of Transforming Families with Randy and Leslie. We hope that today's conversation has left you feeling empowered and equipped to take action.
Remember, transforming families begins with transforming ourselves. Let's be intentional, loving, and persevere. You're not alone. We're right here with you.
We believe Proverbs 24:3. Wise people are builders. They build families, businesses, and communities. Through intelligence and insight, their enterprises are established and endure.
Thanks for joining us today. We encourage you to stay connected with us on social media, join our email list, and learn more about our resources and classes at the Family School by visiting thefamilyreformationproject.com.
Remember to subscribe, share with your loved ones, and spread the word about transforming families. We'll see you on our next episode. And remember,